Here you are opening a.txt. Argument v of 1 contains a.txt. You got argument v of 0 contains ./p, and argument v of 1 contains a.txt, name of the text file which you want to access. Want to apply right lock from the end, so when to set to from the end. Last 10 bytes you want to lock. So first we are setting the starting position from the end minus 10. So it is moved to some byte. For example, 11th byte. So length of the region is 10 bytes. So from the 11th byte to 20th byte you want to lock. Okay. So from the end you want to lock 10 bytes. So the length of the region is 10 bytes. Then you are insisting the user to enter, press enter to set lock. Here coming to this program, it is read lock, where you want to apply the read lock from the beginning of the file. So then is set to 6 set. So from the beginning of the file. From which byte you want to start? From the third byte. Then what will be the length of the segment? 5 bytes. So from the third offset you want to start. From the third byte you want to start. So the length of the region you want to lock is 5. Again you are insisting the user to enter. Press enter to set lock. If you are clear up to this, type !S in the comment section. What about others? Okay. Then coming to this part. So again this code is common for both the programs. Here what? By using fcntl, you are applying the lock information that are present in this variable to a.txt. This is pointed by fd. So both the codes are common between the programs. Here you are applying fcntl. That is, you are calling fcntl API. You are applying that argument file lock information by calling setlock function, setlock command to the file a.txt. Same code here also. Then here, if some other process accessing the a.txt, what we have to specify. So here getlock command you are calling. So which process lock that particular file, that have to be displayed. So same code in both the programs. So here in this part you are applying the lock information on a.txt, and here if some other process trying to access a.txt, what we have to do? So we have to give the information of the process which is locked a.txt by calling getlock. Okay. Then this is different between the programs, because here you want to acquire a write lock at the end. This is acquire a read lock from the beginning. See here seek end, you are moving to the last location. Okay, then seek end minus 5. So I have reserved 10 bytes. In that I want to read the last 5 bytes. That is the meaning. So in a.txt, I want to read last 5 bytes. The region is we have locked is 10 bytes, but I want to read the last 5 bytes. So from the last I want to read 5 bytes. That is the meaning. So here we are reading 5 bytes. Here we have positioned the file pointer. Then here we are reading 5 bytes which will be stored in the buffer from the file a.txt. So now we are displaying the buffer value. Now coming to this part, Here you are moving to the third offset, third byte. So from the beginning, you are positioning the file pointer to third byte by calling lseek. So this line is for to move the file pointer to the specified position. So in a.txt, from the beginning, move to the third byte. That is the meaning. After that, from the third byte, I want to read 5 bytes. Store it in the buffer variable. From where? From a.txt, which is pointed by fd. So here, I want to read a.txt file 5 bytes. Where? From the third position. So that value will be stored in the buffer. Then you are displaying the buffer value. And here, to release the lock, what will be the thing? Here, same thing for both the programs, this part. So type is set to f unlock. Here also type is set to f underscore unlock. From where? From the beginning. From the starting position of the 0 to end of the file. Here also from the beginning. Starting offset is 0 till the end of the file. So the code is common for both the programs. Then apply the unlock information. So here this is to unlock. So by calling fcntl, you are applying the lock information on the file a.txt with the command funlock. So now the file is unlocked. Same code here also. Again the file is unlocked here. So you are displaying file is unlocked. Close the file pointer. So most of the coding is common between the two programs. Okay. Now we are going to execute. See here, cat a.txt. So this is the content of the file. Then here, this is the program with the name write lock at the end. Okay. So here, write lock at the end, that is compiled with the name p. Now I am executing /p a.txt. In this program, we have locked the last 10 bytes and we want to read the last 5 bytes. See here, what will be the last 5 bytes? Screen dot read. So read dot. Last 5 bytes we are reading. So you have preserved the last 10 bytes. So from there you are reading. From the end you are reading last 5 bytes. Okay. Because it is a write lock, so you can perform read as well as write. So in this program, you have locked the last 10 bytes under write lock. From there you are reading last 5 bytes. So here this region is locked. When here coming to this part, this program is executed. This is read at the beginning. Okay. So we are going to read from the beginning of the file. So here you are compiling with the name q /q a.txt. Now a.txt already accessed by this program. Now we are accessing a.txt from this program. Now we are trying to acquire a lock. Yes, just lock because this is different region. So you can get the lock on the same file a.txt. From where you want to read? From the beginning of the file. So from the beginning of the file. From where? From the third byte. So 0, 1, 2. That is the third byte is from here we are starting. Y. So from the third byte, I want to read 5 bytes. So U space W. That is space doesn't output here. Then you have released the lock. So this program is to apply a write lock at the end of the last 10 bytes of the file, and then you are reading the last 5 bytes from that locked region. And this program is to set read lock on the file from the region 3rd byte to 8th byte. So you are reading the same region value, 3rd byte to 8th byte. 5 bytes you are reading from that location. If you are clear up to this, type SS in the comment section. here simultaneous read. So here I'm having cat a.txt. This is the content of the file. So I'm keeping 7th.c as the name of the file. I'm compiling the file /p a.txt, and here is /q a.txt. So two process, namely p and q. So here I am locking the region. So data read from the file is, you are locking the last 10 bytes, right? So last 10 bytes you have locked. Then you are reading. Sorry, this is the read, right? Once again. So the read program. Okay, read program. So take the read program. That is on the right side program. This one. So instead of reading read beginning.c, here I have given the name 7th.c. Okay. So now we are trying to access by more than one process. We are trying to access the same file, simultaneous read. So here press enter to set lock. Here P process acquire a lock, so it is locked. Then data read from the file is, from the third byte you are reading 5 bytes. So from the third byte you are reading 5 bytes. In the meantime, another process also want to acquire a lock on a.txt. So the name is q process name is q here. You are trying to acquire a lock, immediately it is accepted because you want to acquire a read lock only. Okay. So again you are reading 5 bytes from the same file. This is simultaneous read is accepted always. Then so in simultaneous read, after accessing, here you are performing the unlocking operation. So both process release the lock on a.txt. Then simultaneous access for write. When you are executing the write program, so this is the left side program which is given the name of 8th.c. So here P process want to access a.txt. So you will be getting the lock. So you reserved last 10 bytes is the region. So here we are reading some 2 characters. Okay. Here, if you are trying to access with Q, you won't get the lock because already the same region is locked up under write lock. So another process will not be allowed to access the same file because it is already there in the write lock. So you will be getting the process ID of P process on Q terminal. Okay. So here on Q terminal. So simultaneous access for write, it is not possible. So only one process allowed to access. In the meantime, if another process trying to access the same file, it will be restricted to access. So it is getting the process ID of the process which has locked. Okay. Then next coming to file locking mechanism. So file locking is for to restrict the access to a file among multiple processes. So more than one process is accessing a file for data sharing operations. Okay. So it will restrict the access to a file among the multiple processes. So only one process can access the file in a specific time. So it is a mutual exclusion mechanism to ensure a file can be read or written by multiple processes in a safe way. So you will be having 2 types of lock, advisory lock and mandatory lock. Okay, advisory lock and mandatory lock. So advisory lock is not an enforced locking scheme. So it is not compulsory to have an advisory lock. Okay. It will work only if the participating process are cooperating by explicitly acquiring a lock. We'll tell you the meaning. So here, this is the file, balance.data file that contains the value 100. Okay. So process A acquire an exclusive lock. So assume that process A gets a write lock on the file. It opens and reads the file that gets the value 100. Now A is updating the value. In the meantime, process B wants to access the file. It is not getting any, it is not acquiring a lock. Without acquiring a lock itself, it can access the file. That is the meaning. Okay. So advisory locking is not a compulsory one. Okay. So it is possible to access the file balance.date by B process also without acquiring a lock. So it doesn't mean that if you are acquiring a lock, then it is safe. No. Process A acquiring a lock already. Now process B accessing the file without acquiring the lock. It is accepted. It will be accessed. The process B can access the file. Okay. So suppose if process B acquire a lock, acquire the advisory lock, it means that both process A and process B are cooperating process. Okay. So here process A acquire a lock, acquire advisory lock for the file balance.data that access the data 100. And process B, it is not compulsory to have a lock to access the file. Without lock also it can access the file. Process B can also access the file. It can perform the read write operation, even it can delete the file also. Okay, but if the process gets the advisory lock, then it means that both process A and the process B are cooperating with each other. Okay, here is an example. Now process A, see here how the lock will work for cooperating process. Process A already locked the file, that is it got advisory lock. Now process B tries to acquire a lock on the same file before reading the file. So now process B is also getting the advisory lock. So now it becomes the cooperating process with A. Now A and B, both the process are cooperating process. So process A has locked the file. Process B has to wait for process A to release the lock. So here both the process are the cooperating process now. A already locked the file. Process B also wants to acquire a lock on the same file, means that it is a cooperating process. So now process A accesses the value 100, it subtracts 20 and writes 80 back to the file, then release the lock. Now process B acquires the lock, reads the file, updates the value of 80. So now B performs 80 plus 80. Have an assumption, it adds some value. So now 160 will be returned to the file. So like that it will cooperate by acquiring the advisory lock. So advisory lock is not an enforced one. If a process needs, it can get. If a process don't want, it won't care about it. Okay, if the process gets the lock, then it will cooperate with the other process which is having the advisory lock. That's the meaning. Then coming to the mandatory locking, it is compulsory. So mandatory locking doesn't require any cooperation between the participating process. So no cooperation is needed between the process. Once the mandatory lock is activated on a file, the OS prevents other process from reading or writing to the file. So once you acquire a lock, it restricts other process to access the file. That is the concept of mandatory locking. So it is a compulsory locking scheme. Then coming to the lock promotion and lock splitting. What is the meaning of lock promotion and lock splitting? So to make use of advisory lock, process that manipulates the same file must cooperate. So in case of advisory lock, process must cooperate with each other. Okay. And we'll come to about lock promotion. See here, if a process sets a read lock on the file, for example, from address 0 to 256, then it sets the write lock on the same file from the address 0 to 512. So here this is the read lock and this is the write lock. So process will own only one write lock on the file. So a process can have read lock or write lock, right? So here from this region to 256 appears read lock, and from 0 to 512 it is write lock. So process allowed to have only one lock. As per this case, it is allowed to have only the write lock on the file from 0 to 512. So the previous read lock from this is now covered by the write lock, and the process does not own two locks on the region from 0 to 256. So this is called a lock promotion. So from read lock to you will be promoted to write lock. Okay. So within a file from 0 to 256 you have a read lock, and you want to access 0 to 512 with write lock. So only one lock is allowed. Okay, for a process. So compared to read and write lock are having the higher priority. So here from 0 to 512 you will be having the write lock. So read lock is also converted from the region 0 to 256. Instead of having read lock, you will be having the write lock. So this is called lock promotion. Okay. And coming to lock splitting. If a process now unblocks this region, so you have released this region. Now it has two write locks on the same file. One is from the location 0 to 127, and the other from 481 to 512. This is called a lock splitting, because the entire file 0 to 512 is locked under write lock. Now you released this region. Okay, still you have a lock from the region 0 to 127, from 481 to 512. This is called lock splitting. Are you clear up to this? Are you clear up to this? If so, type singlet in the comment section. See, you have to execute the program which I am providing, so that you can understand the concept easily. It is not a tough subject. Go through the PPT, you can understand it. If you are facing any complication on the PPT, okay, if it is tough for you to understand the concept, then make me a call and clarify your doubt at any time. Okay. Hello. Is it clear? Okay. Take care. Bye. Thank you.